Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. In my opinion, Teofimo Lopez, Teofimo Sr., found a way to lose when they got rid of Joey Gamache. During the live yesterday, we were talking about Teofimo and how come he's not looking, so sharp since the Lomachenko fight. What happened to him with Kambosos, and the fact that he looked less than stellar in his first two fights up at 140. And we're trying to make sense of that. And then just one of the teammates who were on the live, they were like, remember, he had Gamache. And I was like, that's right. He had Joey Gamache. Joey Gamache made the difference. See, a lot of people, if you don't know who Joey Gamache is, well, I'm going to tell you right now. Joey Gamache, there's a highlight out there with Arturo Gatti where he's fighting an opponent, and the opponent goes to throw a shot at Gatti, and Gatti kind of steps back. He throws an uppercut. He throws, I think, 2 or 3 hooks after that. Right hook, left hook, then maybe another right hook. But anyway, all of those shots land, and they land hard. And the uppercut already had Gamache out on his feet, but the other shots just, totally short-circuited him. So now, that being said, if you follow boxing, you should know what I'm talking about. If not, go on out there, got his name right here, Joey Gamache, and take a look at Joey Gamache and see what he brings to the table. But the thing to understand with Joey Gamache is he had a record of 55 wins and 4 losses. 38 wins by KO. He fought for 13 years. Okay? Teofimo Lopez's dad and Gamache had won the WBA junior lightweight and lightweight titles. Teofimo's dad has never boxed. So you could see where having someone like Gamache on the team helped tremendously. There's certain things Teofimo's dad just can't quite understand. He just can't quite know, no matter how much boxing that you watch. I'm not saying you can't be good at it, at training, having never put gloves on. But it's a little different. You have somebody who's actually had the gloves on, who's won titles, and who's actually had 55 fights, 4 losses, and 38 by knockout, right? And fought for 13 years. So when you guys are sitting here saying to yourself, okay, well, what's the story? How come this guy Gamache isn't in his corner anymore? Well, the thing is to understand that it has to do with money. Now, Gamache actually, funny that we're talking about that, because Gamache, his name surfaced in the media last year, where he was talking about Teofimo Lopez and how they need to actually move him, because he recognized that there's something that's been lost since the Kambosos fight. Now remember, Gamache, man, this guy he's a 2-weight world champion. He has 13 years of experience, and he worked in the camp for Lomachenko, and he worked in the camp for Lopez, and he's currently training Otto Wallin. Now, Otto Wallin's a heavyweight fighter. Otto Wallin is no joke. Nobody really wants to fight him. Matter of fact, Otto Wallin has a fight coming up. He's the one, if you don't remember, where got robbed against Tyson Fury, where he hit Tyson Fury and cut his eye his eye open. A horrible, horrible gash, and they let the fight continue. And we all know why the fight continued, right? Because of the secret society. But nonetheless, Otto Wallin looked so spectacular because of who he had in his corner, Joey Gamache. Now, the thing is, he takes a look at Teofimo and where he's at right now, but he also believed that Teofimo should have never gone into the Kambosos fight. Now remember, Gamache wasn't part of that training camp. They had let him go, which to me was a big mistake. But Gamache understands weight, and he understands the advantages and disadvantages of staying at a weight too long or getting in the ring with somebody who has a weight advantage. Remember, Joey Gamache had this huge hearing and everything about Arturo Gatti and his weight not being monitored, and how Arturo Gatti came in the ring super heavy, and that's why Arturo Gatti had the advantage and was able to knock him out the way he did. So you can go Google that, man. That's out there. But him looking at what happened with Kambosos, he's saying that Teofimo, he understood that there's a lot of money on the table. You know, why not take advantage of trying to become a unified champion? But he says he feels that was a move that should have been avoided, and he should have just moved up. And when you hear someone like that talk, you tend to want to listen, because Joey Gamache has the experience. And he even went on this record to say, and you can tell when he talks about Teofimo Lopez that he sounds like he's open to reinserting himself back into the equation to help him out. He says it was unfortunate that Teofimo lost that fight. He said he was champion and he could have just gave up the titles and went on about his business. But he did say he does feel that that Teofimo Lopez will come back strong and that he can do well. He's like, but they got to be careful how they maneuver him. You just can't throw him in the deep end. And for him to come back from that loss, especially at 140, is going to be even harder. Although he's not killing himself to get down to 135. He's up there with guys who are killing themselves to get down to 140, probably from 160 pounds. So Gamache understands that Teofimo Lopez took himself out of a bad situation and put himself in maybe a worse situation. But as far as for his health, it was good because he doesn't have to kill himself to lose that last 5 pounds. But health-wise, it's not good because he's up there with guys who are much bigger and stronger than him. And the power that he does have, it's just not going to show up when he gets in the ring at 140. And I respect Gamache for saying that. But there was a moment where Gamache kind of talked briefly about why he never returned to Teofimo Lopez's training camp. That's what I was the most interested in. Now, he did go on and he did reveal why he didn't return to the training camp, especially for Kambosos. Now, according to Gamache, right, he said Top Rank lost the rights to promote the bout at the purse bid. Y'all remember Triller got it, and Teofimo Lopez was his senior was talking a lot of trash about how they're going to sell $2.5 million, all the money they're going to make. But as a result of Top Rank losing the purse bid, that meant Lopez wouldn't be receiving a training advance from his promoter. Now, Lopez claimed leading into the Kambosos fight that he had spent an exorbitant amount of money on his training camp. And Gamache said there were a few things there. Financially speaking, they weren't working with Top Rank at the time. They got outbid by Eddie Hearn and Triller. So that changed some of the dynamics in regards to expenses. There wasn't money to be covered by Top Rank. They usually cover it, but they figured, hey, we're not promoting it, we're not going to cover it. Shows you who runs the show. I tell you, the promoters run the show. The sanctioning bodies run the show, not the fighters. And you can't blame Top Rank for not wanting to help him out. They didn't win the purse bid, and Teofimo Lopez Sr. was being a complete ass, talking a bunch of, being as negative as he possibly could to Bob Arum and Top Rank. But Gamache did say, hey, he doesn't have any ill feelings towards those guys. They didn't want to pay him. He's like, no problem. But he said he would have liked to have been in the camp and see him win. He said, but in boxing, it is what it is. It's kind of how things happen. Some big parts are overlooked, and, he feel he was a big part of Teofimo's success in defeating Lomachenko. He was like, but it is what it is. You're on top 1 minute as a trainer. You're on top 1 minute as a fighter. The next minute, you can be in another place. He's like, I don't have a problem with them. I wish them nothing but luck the next time. He's like, so we'll see. It's going to be what it's going to be. But I am telling you guys right now, if Teofimo Lopez and Lopez Sr., right, especially that damn hardhead senior, if they can humble themselves. Now, I always say, never leave your dad, man. Your dad's your trainer. Why leave your dad? But obviously, there is a huge disconnect in the training camp because Teofimo Jr., in my opinion, just seems to look worse and worse. He looks like he's losing confidence, losing steam, and his dad's not the guy to sit there, man, and create that balance. His dad is his dad. Hey, get in there, kick his you know what. That horrible. Now he's coming in here trying to be an effective communicator when his son's in the ring. But he has no idea what his son's going through. Gamache has an idea. Gamache can look and see things happening and understand exactly what Teofimo's feeling. I truly believe I may hit them up on Twitter. I may really start harassing them like Ray Jackson harasses Terrence Crawford. And try to force their hand to bring Gamache back on the team. Because I tell you right now, Teofimo going up against Josh Taylor, we know he's ducking the hell out of Regis Prograis. But I just don't see, I think Teofimo he's plateaued. There's nowhere else he can go. He's trying to pick up a title at 140. I just don't see it happening. If they get Gamache back on the team, good chance he can pick it up. Not sure he'll still do it against Regis Prograis. But with Gamache on the team, Teofimo has a chance to get back to putting on the performances that we saw when he fought, what's his name? Commey, right? Gamache was in that camp for Richard Commey. For those of you who didn't know that, and you look at what Teofimo did. Gamache was in the camp for his next fight, Lomachenko. Look what Teofimo did. Gamache wasn't in the camp after that. Look what happened with Cambosa. Look what happened in the 2 fights at 140. So what I'm saying is the proof is in the pudding. But that being said, I guess we'll see what he decides to do. But I am going to hit him up on Twitter and probably a couple times a week, just to try to stimulate the situation and see if they respond to me. But I'm sure they've had those discussions in their camp between him and his dad because Gamache brought a lot to the table. But that being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. Bring Gamache back ASAP. I'm in the breeze.